That's what's happening. They never thought about the airplane. Actually, NASA just reported that the special device can transport you from state to Korea in 49 minutes. I don't know how that happened. And the Tesla's owner is saying, we can ship you through the hoop. It'll take 27 minutes from here to San Francisco. They tested it in Nevada. It's working. But how are we going to make the hoop? That's what's happening. This is a terrace farming in Guizhou. And still people are doing that. They only can come up with a product very limited. Some areas, Myanmar or Vietnam or somewhere just rural areas, they still do use old style. They just crop the rice, and for a certain amount of land, they produce a certain amount of rice. It's been fixed. And that's what happened in South America with the Indians, same thing. But the agricultural revolution took place. They've been using, they started with horses, they're using machines and all kinds to plow up the ground. Now this is what's happening in the 21st century. One farmer is farming tens of thousands of acres. They're using drones with a smartphone. We call this smart farming. That's what is happening. So agriculture technology brought rapid growth of productivity. One person was doing maybe 2 hectares of land in 1930s. They became enlarged to maybe 100 acres. Maybe now these days, tens of thousands acres. They're using drones to check out the weathers, crops, and they do everything with it. Even desert farming. And they have fish farming in Sahara Desert. When I went to Israel, they have one of the largest shrimp farm in Negev Desert. Who would have thought you raise the shrimp and fish, koi fish, in Israel and desert? Nobody thought about it. So leadership is different nowadays. One man was leading a small village of maybe a handful of people, or 10 families, or 20 families, or 50 people, less than 100 people. And the leader, village leader, made a decision what to do, how to do, and he was the law. But not anymore. Now technology just took over the leadership. And one man is running all business with one smartphone. They're checking out the weather, flying with drones over the field. And this is what's happening. So revolution brought technology and new leadership. Farming is a different story. I've never been raised in the farming land, but farmers never thought about using computers and machines and aviation to just fertilize the land. So it's all about the strategy, planning, project, analysis, teamwork, future, design. That's what's happening in modern time. Maybe within 10 years, things will be different. War history, some Chinese is Three Kingdoms. They always pick the best guy or general of their group, and just that's the hero, best fighters come up and just fight each other. And in ancient time, they used just regular spears to kill people. And loss was great. And leader of the people, there's 3 kingdoms, Liu Bei, a great man, and Alexander the Great in Greece, and Genghis Khan in Mongolia. They took over 1/3 of the world. That's what had happened. So things are changing. And the great leader has always an advisor. And still the art of war, Sun Tzu Bing Fa, that's one of the best seller. He translated more than 150 different languages. Even U.S. Army generals and lieutenants, all the officers are reading. That's the must read. That's a list. Development of weapons, all handful ones and rifles. Now you can get guns in the store, in Walmart, and AK-47 is banned, but still you can get those kind of things. So when I was in high school and back in '78, I can pick up the pistol 38 for $50. If I go to Watts area, I could get the gun for $25. Now it's much cheaper. You can use 3D printers. You can make your own gun. Now things are different. And machines and rockets and different high tech and nuclear bomb is happening. The World War II ended because of the nuclear bomb was dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And that ended. But now these days, the nuclear bomb is hundreds and thousands times powerful, more powerful than old ones in 1945. Now, not only the bombs, but there are many foot soldiers by using robots and machines and war room designs. Or to do one button will kill 1 million people, destroy, wipe out several cities within 30 minutes. It can happen. So war is a little different now these days. All technologies and new leadership. Who is a true leader? What kind of leader do we need for our army, for battles, our farmings, industries? That is why the concept of leadership has been changed. Leaders somewhat similar, somewhat different. Of course, a leader must lead the group. The father must lead a family. Nowadays, a mother also becomes a team leaders to lead a family. But leadership idea has been changed. So new leaders for new age, new generation. Innovation, you can see ideas, goals, solution, problem, planning, targets, inspiration, synergy, growth, success, innovation, process, challenge, marketing, strategy, corporate development, all those things incorporated into one term, leadership. So concept and ideas are changing. Concept of leadership back in 1910 is different from 1950. The concept of leadership of 1950 is radically different from now these days. Things are different. Moral issue was a big thing. For leadership in America, we say moral issue is so important, vital. But when Bill Clinton became a president of the United States, he had a sexual affair in his own office with Monica Lewinsky, and it was a big thing. Because the commentators, news anchors were saying something that we normally do not speak of. they mentioned that what really happened. They described very vividly on TV, CNN, CBC, Fox, and NBC. Everything was a big deal. He cheated on his wife. But the Americans voted no for impeachment. Republican leaders and senators and House people say, no, you cannot become a president because you have a moral issue. You cheated on your wife. You had an affair with your secretary, who is not your wife. But the issue was economics. That's what his motto was. Stupid, it's all about economics. So money is important. Now these days, politics don't matter as long as we feed our family. As long as we bring the bacon home, we eat meat and veggie properly, we live in a proper place, without poverty, we're okay. Is that really matter? If that really matters, then you are losing your dignity. If moral doesn't count for leadership, then we're saying we are no different from animals, pigs and dogs. What's the difference between pigs and dogs and animals and human beings? We have a moral. We want to keep our family. We want to keep our relationship pure, husband and wife. In Korea had a movie, I think it's very stupid, but my wife has a boyfriend, or my husband has a girlfriend or something. I just cannot imagine. What if my wife go out and find somebody, dating with somebody, having an affair with somebody? I'll get mad at her because she's violating the covenant that we made. So moral is important. But now things are different, changing, radically changed. So study of leadership today is about evolution because it's in changing. Industrial to 21st century age of leadership, it's been changed. Great man theory. One man does everything. No, now it's different. Leadership, forming the group, and team ministry. So the evolution of a leadership theory is 1940 was developed in 1950, 1960, 1970, 1980, 1990. When I finished my doctoral program in 1999, I studied leadership. I have my doctoral degree on leadership. But theory has been changed, developed, and new ideas are coming in. My idea, my dissertation became old stuff. Of course, it has some value in it, but things are different. So transactional theory in 1940s and 1950, trade theories, personal ideas, and behavioral style is important. Contingency and transformation theory is still happening, but people are not talking about behavior style theories anymore. Okay, page 14 of your booklet. What is your definition of a leader and leadership? That's something we dealt with last 2 weeks ago. The origin of the word leader, it came from Latin, but it means lead. The leader is the one who does and accomplishes things first. As you can see from the picture, someone who walks ahead of a group. That's a leader. Like a duck, the baby ducks are following mom. Like a mother goose or mother dog is walking in front of the babies, and the ducklings are just following exactly the steps of mom, following the footsteps. So who's a leader? Who is there to move forward in front of the group? And the leader, this picture tells leader who makes a way where there's no road. And people stopped and waited because they got stuck in a corner, they hit the wall, and there's no way out, no way to go. And a leader just makes a way. Like a mother or father or just governor or president or general who makes a way for his or her group to move forward. Or leader who knows to connect the people from A to B. So they help them to just transfer from here to there. So leader is standing below the trail so that group of people can walk on the path. That's the leader. Those are the pictures of leader. That you can define what is a leadership. Who is a leader? So many pictures can define what leader is. This one, who can tell me what this picture talks about? What is it doing? Mostly father does. What I'm going to do next year with my baby. A visionary. Who is seeing? Who can see things in the future? Well, literally you cannot see, but you can imagine what's going to happen. Let's say you married and your wife is pregnant. You're so happy, but suddenly at the same time, budget. New baby's coming. I'll do anything for my baby. Then at the same time, maybe I gotta have a second job or something. I need to find a better place and a more spacious for my baby. When baby is in the baby crib, you don't need much space. When baby begins to crawl, walk around, requires a lot of space. Because if baby goes to kindergarten, things are different. Middle school, high school, college, lump sum money. Average of a college student has about $80,000 on the loan. Well, if you say, well, you get a good job, if you can get a job at a Google or Amazon.com, you get paid. The beginning salary is $150,000. You can easily pay, but you have to work at the company. The area is expensive. Even though you make $9,000 or $10,000 a month as salary, but rent is about $5,500 for one bedroom. Buy a small house with the 2 bedrooms was $1.2 million. When I was invited to my friend's son's house in San Jose, near Silicon Valley, and he bought a house that was $1.2 million. I thought it was $1.2 million in California. In Southern California, it's a big house. If you go to San Bernardino or just suburb area of LA, $1.2 million will get you big house with lots of rooms. But when I visited his home, it looked like a small cottage. One small parking. No garage, only 2 bedrooms. And he said he's happy. He's making $180,000 a year. Salary, that's a lot of money. I wouldn't live in a small house for $1.2 million. Things are different. So visionary. The leader is a visionary. Plan ahead. What's going to happen next year? I think everybody's a visionary. Everybody's a thinker. Everybody plans ahead of time. Let's say, what's going to happen next semester? What's going to happen next week? And if you're a mother of children, then you say, what's going to happen? What should I do after class? Should I pick up the kids, or should I let them play, or should I just drive them to different tutors, tennis, piano, swimming, violin, and all kinds. your mom is driving children. You have to think. Not only a father is a visionary, mother is also visionary. You have to plan, budget. Every parent wants to raise their children and provide best of the best education. And that's what I thought too when I had a first baby. The second and third, things will do. So leadership has lots of elements. If you're a leader, you have to think, what's the limit of your power, authority? When to say no, when to say yes, when to say maybe, when to say next year. Then leader, you have to know how to support your group. And you have to make the teamwork, best team. Who has a certain gift, who does not? Who writes well, who speaks well? And who does a calculation? Normally, outgoing speaking people are not very good at calculating. Someone who's quiet. Most of the CPAs are very quiet people, introvert. They love to sit down and they like to work on the numbers because 1 0 can make a big difference. How to reduce the taxes you're paying your clients. So most of the CPA are introvert. But the attorneys, they must be extrovert. You have to defend your clients, you have to speak in front of people, judges, and all those things are different. So you have to know who's good at, who's not good at, and how are you going to motivate your people? What do you motivate your children? If you're a mother of children, if you get a good grades, you get straight A's this semester, what's going to happen? Nothing happens. Or, if you have a husband in your own country, you're raising your children by yourself, maybe you can just, most of the Korean parents do that. If you get straight A, we'll all go together, all go back home, celebrate together. Or our father will be here soon, celebrate you, have a great time. All those things can happen. Or you say prize. I used to be a salesman back in college time. Is door to door I was selling Britannica books, and the sales of the month gets a big surprise. Even every week. I wanted to get that because it always the manager or supervisor of the company always present a gift and presented. So and so received a new car for the best salesman. Year 1991 or something. 1985. Things happen. Or promotion. Motivate children, people. Even as a pastor, I had to motivate my congregation to better service. Or competence. Someone who says, I'm not good at, you have to encourage them. You have to find their ability. So you can just make them raise to jump over skills and responsibility and communication. And communication is one of the big things for leadership. Then how the books define a leadership. Dictionary, Oxford English Dictionary defines leadership, gives many words. If you go to under the leadership, that was back in 92, 93, when I checked with the dictionary back in, so already about 20 years ago. So what is a dictionary definition of a leadership? Leader is a commander, one who has authority to command, control, threat, and conduct to achieve the goals. Commander-in-chief, mostly generals, army generals. Or commandant, a navy, one who gives authority to operate independent administration regardless of class. Or boss or master, head of a social and political group. And chief or head, one who accounts for the highest rank in the party and the official group. Or manager, who manages a particular group of the company, or the performance of specific functions in the enterprise, huge company or small group. If you're a manager, then you're a leader. Executive, nowadays it uses CEO. The one who enforces the law in government agencies. Key man. Who is a key man? Who is a key person? Who makes a voice? Who motivates people? Who leads the people? You know, whenever you go to a different group, then there's a particular key person who makes voice. Now you gotta know who that person is. An opinion leader, one who creates and leads the opinion of the group. An elite, one who has a leading role in any group, has the greatest personality intelligence. So dictionary definition of a leader is, this is what my mentor made the definition. One who conducts many people in overall size of the organizations. If I'm a pastor, I'm a leader. If you're a mother of children, you're a leader. If you're a father of the family, you're a leader. If you're a teacher, you're a leader. You're the manager of the small company, you're a leader. So the one who conducts many people in overall in sizes of organizations, you are a leader. Could be people of 5 or 3, 10, 20, 100, you are leader. Not only a president is a leader, he's a great leader of the nation. Governor is a leader of the state. City mayor is a leader of the city. City council, principal, police, chief of police is a leader. Fire department, educating department, every department, every group has the leader to make the way to move forward. So definition of leadership, as you can see, concept of leadership may be variously defined according to the study of a social phenomena in terms of dealing with the leadership. So leadership has been changed, evolved throughout the time. And whatever you're thinking, whatever you're learning today can be different or can be obsolete. You know, Pentium was the biggest thing for computer maybe 20 years ago, and nobody's using it. Computer was packed with items and nuts and bolts inside at a PC. Not anymore, it's almost empty. Nowadays there's a computer generating the section of the computer is a small thing. Body doesn't have to be big. Monitor is big. Monitor became big. Somebody used a TV or something like that. A designer used 40 inches monitor to make a design, or not only one, two. Or stockbrokers have a big screen, or many multiple screens. The things are different. So it's been changing. It'll change. Until you die, things will be different. You know, many times we often say to our youngsters, when I was young, or when I was at your age, things were different. Of course things have been different. You know, when I was in 20s, our leaders are in 50s or 60s, they said, you know, when I was your ages, we never watched TV, you stupid writers, you don't even know how to write. When I went to UCLA, this class was full of Caucasians. The class was this English literature class, a majority of them are Caucasians, all Americans, class of 85 students. an English literature professor said, do you guys ever read books? Then he said, I'm not talking about comic books. I'm not talking about magazines. I'm not talking about simple pop culture articles. I am talking about classics. Shakespeare, Tolstoy. And he just named tons of literatures, something that we don't normally read. Then he just called us, you stupid TV generation. You guys don't even read books. That's why you don't know how to write. That is why your language ability or vocab list is so limited. And the professor literally called us stupid. In that class, I was one Korean with other students. Majority of them became professors of the small college, and I teach at the small seminaries. We all have the doctoral degrees. We say you all agree that he was right. Without the scold, it was a rebuke, we wouldn't be motivated. We were stupid and we're just hooked on the games. We're watching TVs. We're not reading books. But the funny thing is, I say the same thing to my high school kids and college students. You guys are computer generations. You're not reading books. You guys don't know what the classics. You know, I personally have about 9,000 books at home. I'm still buying books, still reading books. I don't read books on computer. I read books in my hand, hard copies. And I always tell my children, you know, Dad has lots of books at home. Some section are Chinese, Japanese, Korean, English, Hebrew, Latin, all kind of books there. Classics. My children can read books, any kind of books. I tell them, you don't need to go to the library, just use my library to read books. But they don't. They may be an expert in computers. I have to ask my son, how do I make a PPT? How do I just surf the internet? Where can I find these kind of things? How do I put the sounds in my PPT? Make it even exciting for my students? And they do the simple things. They just do it like that. But I know books. Things are different. Your children may be different. And what are you going to say to your children? I think the same thing that we heard from your parents. So it is difficult to explain and fully understand what the leadership is about. Because the leadership definition doesn't stand still all the time. Changes all the time. As you're getting age, getting older, there will be new ideas will come, new theories will come. Whatever you propose for a PhD become obsolete, no longer used, no more quotation. It is a pride for scholars that your books or your dissertation, your writings may be quoted by different scholars. That your name will be published in someone's book. That's what scholars are proud of. But my ideas 20 years ago is no longer used. It becomes obsolete. Can happen. So you need to not only to contend for what you learn, what you know, you got to continue to study and you continue to strive for the new things. So there's many different definition of leadership by different people. John E. Haggai is a great leader. He's running a leadership conference every year in many different places. He says, leadership is the discipline of a deliberately exerting special influence within a group to move it toward goals of a beneficial performance that fulfill the group's real needs. So his accent falls on discipline. But Ken Blanchard, he says, leadership is a process of influence. Rather than discipline, he says a process of influence. Anytime you seek to influence the thinking, behavior, or development of people in their personal or professional lives, you are taking on the role of a leader. About Samuel H. Hayes, leadership is the art of influencing human behavior the way the mission leaders hope to achieve. Somewhat they're overlapping of a leadership definitions, but a little bit different. But their focus and their stress is a little different. And Nicholas Henry says vision, communication, and hard work. These three areas are elements of leadership regardless of a public or private. Peter Drucker, who passed away, but he's a great leader. He's a great manager, like a giant, Himalaya of the leadership group. He said leadership is defined by their result. Let's say you're a leader, but the result is nothing. Let's say you think you're a great parent. I think I'm a great mom. I think I'm a great father. I think I'm doing my best, but result, your children's failing, your children are just sidetracked, and he or she are misbehaving. Then you're not good parents. Your result tells us what you said. But there's a pitfall. Consequences does not justify your process. Let's say you want to make a lot of money, so you rob the bank. You have a lot of money. The consequences. Result says you acquired lots of money, but by robbing the bank, that's not right. So Drucker's definition works for only company, industrial company that brings productivity, increase of productivity in certain percentage. Then you did a good job, but not in moral issue. That was taking point of other scholars said result cannot be justified by the action. Stockdale is a leadership is an interaction between people within the organizations participating in the process of goal-oriented collective action. He says interaction communication. Two more, then we're going to take a little break. Leadership is also influenced by Lloyd Perry. He says anyone who wants to lead another, he should remain within the scope of his impact on others. Leadership is to perform something for a group that needs to demonstrate their ability. And his stress is on function. That's what Mr. Perry says. And Peter Northhouse, that was the main book that I used for leadership. He says leadership is a process whereby an individual influences a group of individuals to achieve common goal. Even though he's not a Christian, but his book is textbook for all the leadership classes. Still, his book is widely used for leadership classes in anywhere, any places. As you can see, from 1978, 1982, 82, 86, 92, 93, 98, all authors have a different definition of a leadership. That means leadership is the definition of a leadership is evolving. It's been changing time to time. Sometimes it was because of society, influence was focused. Later on, interaction was focused. Later on one time there was behavior was focused. One time was a result was focused. So from even in 78 to 98, tens of years, maybe 20 years, things have been changed, but influence, process, influence, position, process. So you can see many things are repeating in the circle. The major 4 leadership theories, then we're going to take a break. There's a 4, I want you to focus on the leadership trait, the theories. This is still, among many, these 4 theories are still used in many areas, whether it's a Christian or non-Christian circles. One is a personal trait. Your character matters. What kind of person you are. Are you extrovert or introvert? Are you people-oriented or person-oriented or task-oriented? And second is behavioral leadership. Are you motivating? Are you motivated? Are you influencing? Or are you influenced? Or situational leadership. One is good in a mountain, but one is not good in a field or sea, river. So leadership can be discovered or developed in different areas. You're pretty good at listening, but if you keep listening in the class, you cannot be a good teacher. I'm not an extrovert. I'm an introvert person. I love to read a book. I love to do the research, and even during the honeymoon time, because I've been reading books and books, I was writing my dissertations. My wife said, "Why did you get married? Why did you marry me? You're not going to go out with me. You're not going to have a dinner with me. Why did you make them develop their gift as they want?" And, if that want and gift matches together, then they can accelerate and they can fly for success. So we have to see what do they like. That's why we parents should try to take them to swimming class, so at least they can survive. If anything happens, or just take them to camp to see the nature, science building to see. We try a lot of things. Then if anything that clicks, maybe that's the gift. Then we try to do our best for them. But my philosophy is, I always tell my children, follow your heart. Do whatever you like. As long as within the bracket of the law and the will of God, if God allows you to become a particular person, then be that person. Do whatever you like. I cannot live my life through my children. Yes, I had my life in the United States for 42 years. I grew up here, and I like my children to enjoy their life. The life is their own. Of course, God oversees their lives, and God protects and provides the wisdom for them to develop the gifts. But that's their choice. As long as they don't commit sin or breaking the laws, they can do whatever they like. When I told them that I cannot be with them for long and on their own. So, Samuel Larson, my professor, says, leadership as an activity is art and science of mobilizing and equipping others toward the leadership of a shared transforming vision through guidance, motivation, and personal example. If your father just reads a newspaper, or watching TV, or just hooked on TV and glued to TV to watch the football and the Lakers or baseball, Dodgers, and if you tell your son to study, that's not going to work. You have to lead them with examples. So common elements for leadership, to form leadership, of course, there must be a leader. And if you're a leader, you must have followers. And there must be a situation. So leader is a personality, position, expert in something, so you can lead the group. And followers see a leader's value, opinions and guidance are valuable. Let's say your mother is doing good things for children. Children see that, Mom, that's right. You know better than me. Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. And children find a value in mom's advice, and they begin to follow mom and begin to obey mom. And even teachers, the students see the value of teaching. Oh yeah, that's right. And nodding their heads, agree. And they say, that's a good thing. It's valuable for me, for us. So they see the value. And because, yeah, it is a norm. Yeah, that's right, Daniel. And cohesiveness. And there must be a situation. There must be a home environment or classroom. Teacher without classroom or without students, how are you going to prove you're a teacher? Let's say, I'm a father. Yeah, but prove me that you're a father. I just became a father last month. Yeah, prove it. So you have to show a picture. Environment tells you who you are. Let's say you are wearing the uniform of LAPD. That you want to work in a fire department. That doesn't work. So you have to. The three elements are so important: leader, follower, situation. In a situation, leader, lady's leader, young lady, maybe in 20s and 30s, Asian, is a leader. I particularly picked the picture because I liked it. And I don't like to see the Caucasian old man, old farties telling what to do for Asian. That's something I don't want to see. So let's pick followers. And followers are giving expression, opinions, ideas. So leaders are listening. Leader does not point and rebuking or just checking out, with the notes and you did something right and wrong. She's not doing it. She just listens and communicates. So the leadership, that's the situation. It could be job environment or home, husband and wife talking. That's the situation. How are we going to raise our kid? That's the situation. Family situation. And there's no leader is a leader without followers. There are too many leaders without followers. Everybody wants to be a leader. That's the number one, the negative factors of Asian communities. Not only Asians or South Americans, anywhere. I don't want to just normalize it. Because everybody wants to be a leader. But leader without the followers, that's not a leader. Or leader that constantly loses the followers, and that's not a good leader. Let's say you become a supervisor of a particular division, or sales department, or R&D, research and development department. You went there, and everybody listens to you. Everybody is putting their energy and effort, and they do their best to bring the productivity, come up with the new ideas. Then that's great. You get promoted. You're a good leader. But you went into the department, you just constantly have a quarrel, arguments, fighting, and your teammates are leaving, and end up you're yourself. And you're not a leader. Or say you're a bad leader. Some say, I'll just do one-man band. I'll just do whatever. I just blow a trumpet and a horn and playing guitar and drums and all. I can do it. I can do it all by myself. I don't need anyone. If you guys want to leave, that's okay. I can do it. But it's only limited. Very limited. You can play a simple song, but you cannot make the sounds what the symphony does. Symphony has a lot of different instruments that harmonize, makes a good music. So one-man band versus symphony, they can be applied in leadership. You know, if your husband dominates your family, or your male chauvinist, say, I am a leader of the house. I'm a father, I'm a husband. Everybody has to listen to me. And the husband doesn't take any advice from wife, comments, and he's a one-man band. He takes all the responsibility. But funny thing is, poor man. He complains. Anything happens bad, he complains to his wife. Why didn't you say so? So one-man band. Are you a one-man band leader, or are you part of the symphony? Are you an orchestra leader, or are you a conductor of an orchestra, or are you a one-man band? So we are talking about the trait, behavioral, situational, and new approaches from 1950, 60, 80, and also on. So as I talked in the beginning, the evolution of a leadership theory, that means leadership theory has been developed and changed as time has gone. Because environment is changing. We're not living in a farming era. We are not just living in an industrial era. We are living in an IT era. You can do everything with IT. In China, it developed technology that monitors face of every individual, and they can trade where you are. Pretty scary, isn't it? It is a wonderful, wonderful invention. You take one picture, then computer memorize it, and general computer of the company, or could be government controls. Whatever you do, that traces all the CCTV and camera angles everywhere in every city, every part of the city, and they just know where you are. How scary is it? Well, not only China is doing that, the number one country for that is England. And when I went to England, especially London at night, nighttime in London, pretty scary. Pretty scary. Particularly, nobody's moving around. If you see there's a bush next to it, you're just holding your breath, scared. But suddenly, the cameras are blinking. Then somebody's watching it to someone who's from the bush to try to attack the people. Then the light blinks. They say, "We are watching. Be careful. We can get you in 2 minutes," giving a warning sign. That gives a comfort for passengers. You can just walk around. But government is watching you, and they know whatever you do. It's pretty scary. Like we parents say, "I'm watching you. I'm watching you. I know what you did last night." Pretty scary. So, I didn't do anything, but I watched you. So trait associated with the great leadership, intelligence, people skill. If you're a leader and do not want to be with the people, then you're not a good leader. Decisiveness. You have to make a decision. Some people just do not know what to pick when they go to a restaurant. Let's have lunch together. And typical Asians say, "I don't know what to do. What are you going to pick? Noodles? What kind of noodle?" And sit down is, Caucasians normally they know what to eat. They're pretty decisive. And they say, "I'm going to eat this." But in Japanese culture, you have to follow the trade. I don't know what Chinese do or Koreans, but let's say you have a company dinner, let's say one sales department is, let's have a dinner together, and companies are paying for it, everybody come, so everybody sat down, and people are ready to drink beer, so everybody just pour beer in, and just, they're about to drink, but department head is not there. So they say, Mr. Azuko or something, well, he's not here, he'll be here in 10 minutes. And funny thing is, nobody drinks beer. They just wait, say, he's not here. And they tested it. They tasted for 10 minutes and 20 minutes, and beer got warm, they still wait. And 35 minutes, finally, leader came and said, I'm sorry, and he poured his cold drink and said, cheers, and everybody drinks. Do Chinese people do that too? Koreans don't. We just drink it. The Japanese is pretty much hierarchy, and they don't drink it when the leader's not there. So pretty decisive and creativity, competence. You have to be competence in something, and trustworthiness, can be trusted. Behavioral theories tells us, focus on the work or direct leader, focus on the people, and participating leader. Okay, next one is situational leadership curve. One is you just delegate lower support and lower directive that you have to learn to delegate. High directive and low. This is what we want to go. High directive and high support. You just need a coach. Just tell them, you're doing great. Yeah, good job. You can delegate everything. But here, high directive and low support, you have to direct. You have to do this way. So there's a curve. The where to do what to do. You have to know on every individual. Modeling. This is the last one. Transformational leadership is you have to do modeling. And modeling is the best word for education. You got to tell your children what to do as you do. And children follow what parents do. Students follow what teachers do. And you have to challenging, enabling others to act. You have to make them to be able to do something. I used to teach first grader and second graders in public school. And some kids were exceedingly well. Even first grader know how to write the words. But some students did not even go to kindergarten. They just jumped to preschool and just came to school, and they do not know how to write. And it was difficult to teach them. And little kids always, they're babbling, speaking. I know, they're not stupid. The person doesn't know. I know. And she doesn't know. I know. But I have to make them to write their names in first week. So they can make them proud of themselves. Mom, I wrote my name. This is my name, Bobby Johnson. They're so proud, They're drawing pictures, and they're drawing pictures of sun and cloud, and Mom, I did it, and they just put their, I had to pick the best pictures. With 17 students, I said, everyone is best. So put every picture there. Good job. And the parents came, they just love it, they love their own kid's picture. Best picture. But some parents say, why are all the 17s are best? I didn't say number one. Number one is only one, but best, everybody can draw best picture. So everybody's best artist. And some parents are very disappointed. I thought my son was the best. Yeah, your son is the best. Yeah. So everybody's best. So I had to make them to write their name, they're drawing pictures, and spelling, and simple song, and as soon as the kids go to school,